Hey everybody, it's George again. Just here now to talk more about Faith Nation and what's going on with it. And I'm going to talk today about some key concepts as to what not to do as a Christian. Uh, I'm going to talk about, in particular, doubt, hatred, and anger. Those are the three things that sometimes are really hard to get around in life because we all get frustrated and angry at things, and we all doubt what truth lies behind reality and whatnot. We all doubt that there's a God. Um, we also play privy to anger and getting angry at God, especially in our doubt of whether or not He's there or not. These are things that everyone does, including myself. Uh, these are sometimes universal human pitfalls in ways. Um, and you try your best not to do them, of course, but uh, and sometimes it's about the way you respond to other people doubting, being angry, and hating you. Um, Jesus even tells us that uh, you're going to be hated in His name, or you're going to experience people who don't like you, or are repulsed by you as a Christian, and are going to send you to places in life that you don't want to be in, but you're going to stand firm in the name of Christ when you're in those places. And so, while it's also best to respond to haters and doubters and angry people with love and compassion, and being one with Christ in word and deed, um, it's also best not to do it yourself and not to fall into the trap of doubting whether God's there. Like when Moses was leading the Israelites out of Egypt, they actually wanted to go back because in the desert, when they were in the desert, they were so hungry and tired that they wanted to go back to Egypt from whence they had come. Moses was like, "What am I going to do with this generation? What am I going to do with this generation of doubters and sinners and tired people who want even more proof, other than parting the Red Sea, of course, that God is there?" And it's not like God every day is giving us signs that He's there, or telling us that He's there, like with deliberate signs. But at the same time, we shouldn't tempt His power by asking for a sign. That's not what really we're supposed to do as Christians. We're supposed to live inside of faith, and what faith really means is sometimes living despite not having a direct sign that God is there, and not doubting Him even when He's not there. Um, so it's very important not to doubt God even when you feel like He's not there, because He's there and He's watching you, and He's so-called testing your faith to see whether or not you are going to have faith in Him while He's not immediately present. He'll be there to get you out of things, and He'll be here to get you out of tough situations, and bring you back onto the path of righteousness and goodness. But largely, like, it might not seem like He's there because His presence isn't marred with like elaborate signs and miracles like it was in Jesus' day. Um, so that's about doubting. There's also this idea that you can hate God and you can really hate everything that God does, um, because your life isn't exactly the way you want it to be, or it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to be, or something like that. Honestly, I'm no stranger to it. I sometimes get mad at God, and I get angry, and I get testy and hateful with God, because something didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or I look at my past. Sometimes we as a younger generation like to ruminate on our past, and we lose sight of the fact that we have tomorrow to look forward to, and what it might hold, and we like to stay stuck on the things that have already happened, and this can only cause us to hate and be angry at God. Just try not to do that, and respond to people who hate you and bring you hate with love and compassion, or turn the other cheek and ignore them. Um, uh, it's never good to like look at a series of events in your life, a series of unfortunate events, and begin to like hate God because of it, or begin to see God as the enemy because of the series of unfortunate events you're going through. Um, this I've kind of learned, but I also struggle myself with doubting and hate and anger sometimes on account of God, and I work every day to lift my heart out of that, and I work every day to love God with as much as my heart as I can possibly love Him with, and to love Jesus and to forge better relationships with Jesus Christ. The opposite of certainty, of course, like if you have problems with like feeling uncertain about a situation or something like that, the opposite of certainty is actually not, or the opposite of doubt, if you know what I mean, is not certainty. The opposite of doubt isn't exact certainty about what's going to happen. The opposite of doubt is having that inner faith that like even though you're uncertain, something's going to work out for you, or that the Lord is there guiding you. That is the essence of what faith is. It's not having complete certainty. In other words, faith isn't having complete certainty, if you know what I mean. So like I'm a big Star Wars fan. Like sometimes all those aggressive feelings of hate and anger and blaming the universe for what happens to you is sometimes a telltale sign that you're going down the path of the dark side, and you never want to go. As a Jedi, you never want to go down the path of the dark side, as it were, because that's the path that leads to the most pain and suffering. We view sometimes our pain and suffering as a consequence of like some overarching God who does bad things to us. But really, our pain and suffering comes from our fears, our angers, our hatreds, and our doubts. And that's what causes us to suffer sometimes. So, at least if something bad happens to you, don't go down the path of saying, oh man, God has deserted me, God hates me, God has abandoned me, or totally tune Him out, because that's not what you want to do there. In light of the fact that you might suffer even more if you immediately dart away from God, the first sign of suffering or uncertainty or something like that in your life. So I'm just sort of talking here, and I hope you do a better job than me some days looking past your doubts, uncertainties, and fears, and also I've done a lot about dealing with fear in my life. My life has been primarily about dealing with fear sometimes, and I've dealt with it as best as I can sometimes, and sometimes it might get the better of me, but I try not to doubt God. There was a time I did doubt God, but I try my best not to anymore. I try to understand that even while I doubt Him, He's still there watching me. And even in light of some of the things that happened in my life, as you'll see later, doubting God can lead to your suffering. And I don't always view it like that, but I sometimes do, and I like to think about it a little bit, because that was what the Jedi were talking about when they talked about, fear and anger and doubt lead to suffering. So try not to be angry and hateful. Don't let your fear become anger, and let your anger become hate, and your hate becomes suffering, because like Master Yoda says, that's not what you want to do. And try to stay as close to God as you can, and love God with your whole heart. And you don't have to like actively sit there like trying to overcome your anger. Just give thanks to God each day, give praise to Him, and keep it pushing. So that's all I have to say about anger, hate, and all those things, all those nasty things. And I'll keep y'all posted about what Faith Nation is doing in the next few videos. And I hope y'all all stay happy and in the sight of the joy that the Lord brings us each day, and the grace that the Lord gives us. And I will see y'all later. Thank you. Peace out.